Good evening. It's time for Vespers, and I'm so glad that you're here. I can feel the enthusiasm, not just among the children, but among the adults. There's lots of buzzing going on. So thank you so much for coming tonight and supporting our Pathfinders. I'm going to turn it right over to Cindy and the group.
Welcome. So glad to see you all. We're excited to be here, and we're excited for the support that you gave us to be able to go on this amazing trip. I know that God led along the way. He led while we were there, and I know he will continue to lead with the seeds that were planted in the time that we were in Gillette, in this special time. So I thought that we would start by how we start our club meetings. So most of the time, everyone's standing. So I'm going to ask you to stand up, and we're going to recite the pledge. And so there are Pathfinders surrounding you, and those of you who have been Pathfinders in the past could also. So we're going to start by the grace of God, I will be pure and kind and true. I will keep the Pathfinder law. I will be a servant of God and a friend to man. The Pathfinder law is for me to keep the morning watch, do my honest part, care for my body, keep a level eye, be courteous and obedient, walk softly in the sanctuary, keep a song in my heart, go on God's errands. So we always just sing the Pathfinder song a cappella.
Let's invite some of our current Pathfinders up here to help us sing.
Oh, what a great idea, Mr. Davis. Come on up.
They're
just
kids.
Running up.
Pathfinders
Up.
fall in, let's go.
Yeah, just run right up.
Come on, boys.
Oh, it'll be fun. Yeah, let's come on up. Come on up. Join us. Yes. So those of you that know the song, join in, and it'll feel like you're right at the clubhouse with us. Okay, are you ready? Oh, we are the Pathfinders strong.
The servants of God are we, faithful as we march along, in kindness, truth, and purity. A message to tell to the world, a truth that will set us free. King Jesus, the Savior's coming back for you and me.
Let's bow our heads. Dear Father in heaven, thank you for bringing us here safely tonight. Thank you for the amazing experience that we had just a few weeks ago together, learning more about you, and we ask that we would share your love to the people that are here and those listening, and we ask these things in your loving name. Amen. Okay, you may be seated. So Mr. Todd Davis put together a whole presentation for you to enjoy, and we will give you some tidbits along the way to help you enjoy our experience.
So what you're currently watching is sort of the hyperlapse that I took of the drive. This isn't all of it. I've got some more footage, but it's just something to keep you entertained while you sat here and waited for Vespers to start tonight. In a few minutes, we're going to basically start up our slideshow. I got about 270 photos of about 500 that I had on my computer. So I did shorten it down because I didn't think you guys wanted to spend 2 hours here looking at photos. Any of the Pathfinders that want to come up and talk during it, you're more than welcome to come up and explain your experience. Basically describe what camporee meant to you. Go from there. For me and Mrs. Gregg and a few others, my wife April as well, camporee started 5 years ago. Honestly, it's been a journey. Ups and downs, good, bad, breaks in between, hardships, good things, Take your pick. But when we finally got this all said and done, as you can see, we got there. The trip started off, what did we leave the clubhouse? 10 o'clock in the morning, basically? Somewhere in that range. We were around 10 o'clock in the morning when we took off. Got down to the border, had a small delay, nothing too major. In the end, I think that turned out to be one of our first miracles of the trip. Because 45 minutes ahead of us, if you look at the roads, there's wet spots the whole way along. We followed the huge storm that wiped out Calgary that same day the whole way. We were 45 minutes behind it on the radar. The whole way. So that 1 hour gap that we had, Yoshi, you were our bonus. It was a minor thing at the border. It was good. It was all handled well. But we got there. We got into Missoula 7, 8 o'clock at night, somewhere about there. Dropped in with 20 boxes of pizzas, somewhere in that range, 20 boxes of pizzas. Fed the kids, everybody was good and happy. The next morning, got up bright and early. After some of us slept, we slept in the gymnasium. Cindy had gotten a hold of Mountain View Christian School, the Adventist Academy down there, and basically set it up so that we could take residence in their facility over the night, which worked out really well. And good thing we got there early, because the other clubs that were there, well, they slept outside. We didn't have to pack up all our tents and everything the next morning, which was an added bonus. So we got out, we were on the road, which got us on the road and into Gillette. What do you say, 6, 7 o'clock? We were into Gillette somewhere around 6 or 7 o'clock with a really nice day of driving on us there as well. Stephen, you can cancel this one now and probably get on to the rest of the video, or the slideshow. So the photos that are coming out, some of them are of the trip, some of them are of our excursion out to Devil's Tower, some of them are of a camp as well. It should give you a good display basically of what went on, the amazing time that we had. You'll see lots of smiles on the kids' faces. You'll see lots of smiles on the adults' faces. You'll see some stress on the adults' faces too. We got down there Monday night, got our stuff all set up, didn't put up anything major except for our kitchen tent, which turned out to be a blessing, because Monday night we had a thunderstorm. A few people's things got wet. 3 o'clock in the morning, it was coming down, one of the hardest storms I've seen in a while. 2 of us up, anybody else that woke up, I said, just stay in your tents. It's much drier in there. I got up in the morning, you could hardly tell it rained. It was actually quite nice. The ground absorbed it quite well. Cindy went off to the director's meeting and we all finished off our morning prep. She came back and said, you better not put anything up that might get blown away. Okay, saves me a little work today, no problem. And it's a good thing that we didn't put anything up. We had a massive storm come in on the Tuesday. At about 5 o'clock, they closed all the buildings down and announced that the main event that night was going to be postponed. And at about 6:30, 7 o'clock, they opened up all the buildings and said, if you can get into a structure that's mounted to the ground, please do so. Okay, so we all sheltered inside. There's photos of us having our supper inside the energy hall? I think it was the energy hall. Yeah, I think it was the energy hall. I think there's a picture of it with a rainbow after everything ended, near the end of the video. But we got through all of that. There was some flashbangs. It was pretty wild weather for about 2 hours. Reports were that the main stage moved 1.5 feet in the winds. That thing was anchored to the ground pretty hard. The reports were also that the TV stands out in the field moved 10 feet. A couple of them moved a lot. They were also anchored pretty hard. But no major damage that way. We had one tent that was damaged, and there will be a picture of that in here somewhere where you'll see Warren Toombs basically posing over Derek's tent. Luckily, we took along a couple spares. We fixed that one and had one more break the next day. We had a little bit of water damage. The ladies' tent got collapsed, 1/3 of it over in, and basically had a bathtub full of water in a pool on top of their tent, and a bathtub full of water in their tent. We got it all dried out. They were all safe. That's all that really mattered. And having our cook tent as a drying area turned out to be an added bonus. We just fired up the stoves, got it nice and warm in there. Everybody dried out. So that was Tuesday. Wednesday, we decided, you know what? They're having issues getting this camp set up, and I'll let others delve into the issues of what those were. Somebody else can talk about that. We decided we were going to go off to Devil's Tower. There's videos of that. There's pictures of that. The kids got to see one of the wildest things in the world. Oh, speaking of videos, happened to be Wednesday was the day that the people from Sturgis at the bike rally decided they wanted to go spend at Devil's Tower as well. So when we got there, it was an added bonus, especially for somebody like me who likes motorbikes and cars and everything else that's motorized. It was kind of a bonus that way. But that thing there is very custom. Kind of a Kenworth turned into a motorcycle. We had pictures of it, but I thought I'd put the video in there because it was so unique. Devil's Tower, they went for a nice long hike around it, or a ways around it. April, Jonathan, and myself stayed down below, looked at bikes, and entertained ourselves. It was a lot of fun, watching the bike parade go by all the day. Some of the others can talk about their hike around there if they want. That's great, because I didn't experience it. It's not one of my experiences. Got back. Main event was on that night. We had supper delivered down to us by our amazing cooks. So what we would do this time, usually we would eat beforehand. This time we took all of our stuff down. The main event was close enough to us that our cooks were able to sit back, put it all into a wagon, and deliver it all down to us, which worked out amazing. This system worked perfect. So we got basically down there, watched most of the main event, and Cindy got a notification from the local emergency alert system that there was another storm coming in. It would be here around 9 o'clock. So at 8:30, she showed me that, and I made the quick instant decision, let's go. Safety first. Main event will wait. We'll get to see it online if we have to. So instantly we packed everybody up. And within 5 minutes of us getting back at camp, the kids were in their tents, and it unloaded for a while. Rumor has it the main event continued on until basically the microphone stopped working. Who said something to me? Somebody called Mr. Davis over there. Noah, what was it? Oh, okay. Thought you had something to ask me. That's fine. So Thursday actually turned out to be a glory day. It was beautiful. Warm. Everybody got sunburnt. Most of us got sunburnt. Some of us used sunscreen. But it turned out to be a beautiful day. And yeah, I think everybody really enjoyed it. We had a great double feature of the main event. And then we went on to Friday. On Thursday night, though, they had announced out that Hurricane Debbie was headed north up towards our direction, and there was expected thunderstorms from the west again, and that they were going to be canceling all of Saturday programming in lieu of the fact that there was a major storm coming. Okay, no problem. We can deal with that. We discussed it amongst ourselves and decided that we'd pack everything up as much as we could on Friday so that on Saturday we didn't have very much to do, and we would get out of there so that if there was any emergency response needed, we weren't part of the emergency response. Get out of the way. So Saturday is when we left. Friday, another great day. Lots of sunburn. We had lots of fun. You can see some of these photos of the kids doing their honors and doing the activities. They had a lot of fun too. But that was my experience. Drive home, very uneventful. It was actually a really nice drive. If anybody else wants to share their experience, podium is yours.
Well, I'll encourage others, but while you're thinking about it, some of the things that highlighted for me were just the, we got to go to Devil's Tower. We were planning on it perhaps, but then we made the decision when there were some activities that were not going to be available to us on the Wednesday for the first half of the day, so we decided to go. And it was a really neat experience, partly for the motorbikes, partly for, it's just a stunning park to walk around, so we got to walk all the way around and had a nice lunch halfway through. There's some of the other highlights. I mean, I just think that there's storms in life, right? Everyone has their ups and their downs. There were certainly some storms that came through that we had to manage, but I think those are what we grow with, what God helps us to move through them and brings us through. I think some of the biggest highlights for the kids were the evening programs. They had an amazing production of Moses that they were able to do 2 performances per night so that we didn't miss any live performances, which was amazing. The speaker talked about how God's unconditional love for us is just always weaving in our lives. And it was just such a positive experience. I made an attempt because I just want to call out to all the people that brought postcards. There was a postcard parade coming through the clubhouse for months, or at least a month or two before, and I so appreciate that. I think we ended up taking about 3,000 postcards just from our club alone, at least. The number totaled at the camporee was 50,000, over 50,000 postcards that they had collected. The last world record attempt that we were now going to beat was 15,000. So to hit 50,000 was pretty amazing. But yeah, I'm wearing my postcard world record shirt from camporee tonight in honor of the event, and I just want to say thank you for your support with the postcards, but also thank you for your support with your prayers for us and your generous donations. I did not get to do an honor when I was there. I went to the postcards, but I didn't get to. I was doing other things, so I was hopeful that maybe someone could come up and say what their favorite honor was. There's a whole row of Pathfinders, row 2, or come on up. Yeah, so they would often go in groups. Some of you might have seen there was a poster board that Janelle came up with that had our names on it so we could organize and wouldn't lose anyone. And it took groups of people to different places. So where did you end up going?
I went to blacksmithing.
Oh, so what'd you do there?
Made 2 different things.
Did you bring them home?
Yeah.
What did you bring?
We made a cross and then this hook.
And what did you have to wear when you were there?
Pants.
Was it cold or hot?
Very hot.
Yeah. So did you have to go back and change? Were you one of the ones that had to change? No. Okay.
No.
Okay. Yeah. What other honors were your favorite? Was that your favorite?
Yes, and one more.
And one more. Okay. What is the second one?
Space exploration.
Oh. Did we see any pictures of that one yet? Oh, okay. Space exploration. So what did you learn in that?
About like the different like space programs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. So how many honors did you do during the week?
I think I did like 5 maybe.
5 honors.
Maybe. I don't remember.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Thanks, Grayson. Do you want to share anything else? Any other experience? Okay. Did anyone else do honors other than those 2? Come on. Second row. Let's go. One of you. Oh, yes, 4th row. I keep looking at the second row, but it's beyond that. So I know there was a picture of you. See, these are some of the actors that we got to meet, and I have a picture of you with an actor. But what are you bringing up right now? What are you showing me?
I have my pin book from Kenya that I bought from this lady that came, and we traded a lot of pins. That was probably my favorite honor. So we got like a ton, like a lot.
So just so you know, pin trading is an honor. It is an honor, and you get a badge for it. And so we had talked about pin trading and learning a little bit about it, but this was experience. How much time do you think you spent trading pins while you were in Gillette?
Overall, probably like a few hours.
Did you meet any interesting people?
The furthest person I met was probably either France or England.
Wow, that's amazing. So would you be willing to show these to people after Vespers if they're interested?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your scarf.
Oh, so this scarf is a Believe the Promise scarf. I got it at one of the vendors. It's got the logo on the back.
So this is the logo, and then he also has the patch from the camporee on his sash as well, which is a beautiful memory from when you've been there as well. Is there anything else that you'd like to share? We had a picture, I don't know if it's come up yet, of someone with this scarf. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Oh, so I was trying to roll this thing, and it's like super hard to roll because it's got a really thick border. But this guy from Korea came, and he rolled it for me, and we got a picture together, and I gave him our club pin, and for all I know, he's back in Korea.
Very good. Thank you. Do you want to share anything else? No? Thank you. See how easy that is to share? It's fun. They want to hear your stories. They do. Yeah. So, yeah, this was, is Brianna here? There was, this booth that was set up that we just kind of came upon. Oh, yes, come share. Yeah, and so we got to hang out for the afternoon, and it was just so fun because we kind of would wander. There's no way you can see everything there. There is just so much to see. Come on up. And so what did we do that day? We just kind of ran into this really cool, tent. What was in there?
Like the tent was like a Korean tent, and there was a whole bunch of like activities in there.
So what did you make?
So we made kind of like some sort of like kind of soccer related thing, sort of.
It was like, yeah, and it was a game, right?
Yeah, it was a game. It was
So
like
you made your own thing to play a game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I traded with like a few people there,
mm-hmm.
and then we like wrote our names in Korean.
Yes. Do you remember how to write your name in Korean?
No, I don't.
And what did you get to eat there?
We also got to eat like fried kimchi.
Mm-hmm. Did you
And-
like it?
Yeah, it was good.
Mm-hmm. And then you got to dress up,
Yeah, we got to try on some dresses.
traditional.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what other honor was your favorite honor from the week?
Probably moths and butterflies.
Oh, very good. Nice. Anything else you want to share?
No, that's all.
That was good. Yes. So we really tried our best to organize because there's so many things to do, and we tried to get. Oh, and then we were tired. Yeah. Yeah. So we really tried to organize as best we could before we left, so that everyone would get a little something of what they wanted to do, because you can't just go off on your own. There's 60,000 people there, and we did not want to lose anybody. So we ended up having groups go out, and so we had lists of what would you like to do, and yeah, does anyone else have any of their favorite things that they either did on the first day, or maybe it was not till the last day that you got to do your favorite thing? Staff are open to come up too, for sure. This was eating on the way. I think everyone can say eating was good.
Yeah. So my favorite things about the trip was partly the drive, because I got to spend a nice long time driving with my husband, and we had some really awesome conversations, so that was really cool. Seeing our teen leaders, which was Megan, Jesse, Hayden, and Oliver, step up. They stepped up and were just awesome. We were assigned them tasks, assigned them groups. They were awesome. We had a storm on the second night, as I'm sure Todd already told you, and it was a big storm. I mean, we were huddled in that building for a good 2 hours. After we came out from the storm, there was an awesome rainbow, and it was spectacular. And we heard after the event that the city of Gillette and the county that it was in stepped up, because there were several groups of Pathfinders that lost everything. And the city of Gillette and the county stepped up and donated them things, gave them places to sleep, fed them. It was incredible. It was absolutely awesome. Another thing that struck me about the event was the sight every evening. As it would get dark and you're watching the evening performance, there would be songs going on, and as you watch 60,000 people light up their cell phones and shine those, that sight is incredible. And they were showing their appreciation, they were showing their spirit and enjoying it, and that was awesome. Knowing that a group that big could come together and celebrate God was just very cool. It was an awesome week full of memories and fun. And I want to give a shout out to our absolutely awesome kitchen staff. Yoshi, Melanie, Janelle, Brenda, and Jemima. Thank you guys for feeding and supporting us. We couldn't have done that week without you guys at all. And I look forward to going to the Stand Strong Camporee, God willing, in another 5 years. We're going to try it again.
Thank you. Anyone else? Staff or Pathfinders want to share? Come on, Tell me about the hats. Tell me. I know Jonathan had a hat on. It might have had something on the front of it. Do you want to talk about that? Come on. So yeah, I would say pin trading was a big highlight. It was a bit of the staff kind of loved it and didn't love it all at the same time, because you wanted to get to a certain place to do a certain honor, because you're trying. It's a long ways to get there, and then these kids would be like, oh, but I just have to get the Texas pin, or I just really need to get this set traded. And so it was really neat for the kids to meet each other and have a little bit of time, kind of talking a little bit about their clubs, etc. Yeah, there's a lot of ducking down in the front. That's pretty funny. Good technique. It was interesting with Gillette, too, because Gillette initially had a lot of hesitation. They've never hosted us before. So it's a town of 33,000. The largest city in Wyoming was, 77,000 or something like that, which is not Gillette. So, of course, we got to the point where we were 90 plus thousand people in this small little town. So this is in the evening singing. Lorianne, did you want to come up and share? Come.
So one of my favorite parts was the evening shows. They were amazing.
and so much fun. I've been making my family watch them with me as I've found copies of them, either through the Camporee site or YouTube. I've had to kind of piece together things to find them. And yeah, they were just really, really well done. But the message that they had, there was a big, long program leading up to the play. And so there was a ventriloquist with an ostrich, Ollie the ostrich, and he was quite funny. Ventriloquism is not always my thing, but he was actually quite good, and yeah, he was very humorous. And then, yeah, there were kids that were performing leading up to it from around the world. Then they'd have videos talking to people who had come, Pathfinders who had come. There were some kids from the Ukraine who were sharing their story of how hard it was for them to come, but they were there, and they were having a good time. So it was really interesting to hear stories of other people. Then there were drummers, there were just musicians, and all kinds of things. And then we'd get the play. Oh, no, and then there was also a speaker, Damian Chandler. He was amazing. He was so thought-provoking. And yeah, I really enjoyed him. And then the play, and then after that, then there would be music after, which you just saw earlier with the lights going, and it was a lot of fun. So I think that the performances were one of my favorites. Watching the teen leaders was another favorite part for me, especially because my son is one of them. And they really did step up. They were so mature, and they were leading groups of kids, and yeah, and helping out and just jumping in. And it was just amazing to see how they were once the little ones. All of them, I think, were once friends in Pathfinders, and they had gone through the program and had matured into these young leaders, and it was really amazing to see. And so, yeah, those were some of my favorite parts. So I think the all-time highlight for the week was we had a Pathfinder baptism from our club. Levi Carlson was baptized, and it's just such a highlight, yeah.
Gillette was great. One of the favorite things for me was the fact that I got to share it with my son. So that was a real highlight for me. It had been something we'd worked together to fundraise for, and to be able to share that and experience was pretty amazing. And I just want to say thank you to a lot of the people I see out there that helped us get there and supported us, and thank you very much. The night show was absolutely amazing. It just really made me see how God really is leading in our lives, and no matter what, through the story of Moses, God is wanting to save every one of us. And, you know, the painting of the doorpost, God loves us that much, and he wants us all to be with him, and it was just an amazing experience. And the kids were so amazing, and I just had a really great time. So thank you for letting us all be able to go through your support.
Yeah, so that's a great question, Marlene. It was over 1,000, but I don't know the exact number. Because they condensed the program and we missed the first night and the last night, I'm not sure what happened. But there was an altar call on Thursday evening at the program, and there were kids from the BC conference that were then part of the baptism on the Friday. Like, they were just... It was just a really, really spiritually led event. It was just amazing to see how these kids were just really, really interested in being there and so excited to hear the word in a different way.
I got it faster muted, exactly. You know, sometimes you gotta know how to navigate your phone fast. Baptism report. Praise God, 1,187 Pathfinders were baptized over the 5 days of Camporee. That's according to Pastor Ron's newsletter that he sends out every month. The offering and donations collected, which were going towards, Silent Warriors Deaf School. So, everybody was deaf in the school, and anybody in this country, I forgot what country they're in. I think it's in India. Yeah, it is India. If you're born deaf in India, you're basically considered cursed. So they sent all of them off to a deaf school. They raised $67,920 for that school for the one night's offering. Many haven't actually mentioned it, but being as Gillette was organizing this for their first time, they had growing pains. Yeah, I'm going to get into that side of it now. Nobody else mentioned it. Yeah, where's Marty? Exactly. Marty experienced some of those fun things, but as with any event, there's learning pains and growing pains. There's definitely a learning event that happened with it. When we first got there, the porta potties did not have any toilet paper in them. They had already run out, and that was on the first day. The second day did not improve. In fact, things probably got a lot worse. The third day, and one of the reasons why we bugged out and went off to Devil's Tower, is because the health authority was actually considering at that time shutting everything down because of sanitation conditions, because what had happened is the original company, who I'm assuming did a mathematical calculation on how many potties they needed, miscalculated, got overwhelmed, and walked off the job. So, in a desperation thing, the Camporee Organizing Committee had set up a contingency fund for in case something happened. Well, something happened. They actually ended up bringing in 2 companies from in-state and out-of-state. Some of these guys worked 8 hours in Sturgis, drove 2 hours to Gillette, and worked another 8-hour shift to make everything safe and proper for us. These guys took care of 65,000 people, and they kept this show, well, running. They did an amazing job, but it takes a lot of work. Like April said, the city stepped up. When that storm hit on Tuesday night, some of the international area had knee-deep water in their tents. If you looked into the garbage cans along the way, you saw tent structures, you saw countless things that were just mangled, twisted messes. Because the winds that we had that we were sheltering from were anywhere between 70 and 100 miles an hour. That's miles an hour. Stuff was not staying put unless it was very well put down. The reason that they really wanted us to take shelter is that on Sunday, or maybe even Saturday, they had another windstorm before we got there come through. The BC conference tent got blown away. They had damage done to the BC conference tent. They had to shorten the leg poles on it about 2 feet before they could reattach it to the ground and get everything resecured. And a couple of our locals ended up getting hurt. One of them ended up in the hospital for a day and a half. So there's reasons that we were taking precautions to make sure these kids stayed safe. Any other questions about it? Okay. Should we get the kids up here for the song, or? Yeah. Silver Tips, please rise and come on up.
So every camporee, they have a theme song. And so we got to experience and what it feels like to sing with 60,000 Pathfinders, which is pretty amazing. And so the Believe the Promise theme song we'll share with you. It was written by one of the performers. He and his wife were both part of the band, and they had just gone through some loss, and so this kind of, really helped with the healing of it. Yeah, I just want to share what amazing group we have of kids. Make sure that you talk to them after or when you see them in church. If you have questions about it, they'll talk to you directly. They might not want to talk up front, but they'll talk to you directly, and they have lots to share. Ask them about their pin collection or their honors, or what kind of honors we're doing this year. It's great to have your support and interest in their lives.
What's the name of this song again?
Believe.
Believe.
Yeah.
So like we said earlier, Damien, was it?
Damien. Yeah.
He did his presentations every night and made sure that everybody knew to believe the promise. Enjoy.
Who you say you are, we believe. Oh, and what you say you'll do, we believe it too. 'Cause we can count on you. Oh, no need to doubt. Believe the promise is true. In the desert night, a mysterious sight, you unveiled your plan from a burning fire. All our misery, our chains and our pleas, you stretched out your hand and you set us free. And when the enemy's bearing down on me, when the way to freedom is across the sea, the eastward wind obeys your command. You make a way and I see dry land. Who you say you are, we believe. Whoa, and what you say you'll do, we believe it too. 'Cause we can count on you. Oh, no need to doubt. Believe the promise is true. When our wanderings bring us suffering, and the serpent's venom leaves us sting, we think of your promises, timeless and true. We look to the cross, God, and we find you. Who you say you are, we believe. Whoa, and what you say you'll do, we believe it too. 'Cause we can count on you. Whoa, no need to doubt. Believe the promise is true. Yes, you are alive. You are all we need. Always by our side. These are your promises. In the darkest times, yes, you give us peace. Bringing hope to life. These are your promises.
Yes, you are alive. You are all we need. Always by our side. These are your promises. In the darkest times, yes, you give us peace. Bringing hope to life. These are your promises.
Who you say you are, we believe. Oh, and what you say you'll do, we believe
you for your support of our club and our kids and our ministry. And will you stand and have prayer with us? Dear God, thank you for your promise that you are coming again. Thank you that you hold us and weave us into your plan. Thank you for the kids that are here and the kids that were able to go with us to Gillette. We ask that you would be with them, guide them, show them the path that you want them to go on in this life, and help us as church family to continue to be there for them, to help them along their way. Thank you for this ministry, and we ask that you would be with each of us tonight. In Jesus' loving name, amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Pathfinders. Amazing. I got a little feel of it because I had a chance to go to the Pathfinder Camporee in Oshkosh one year. We didn't have quite as many storms as you did, but we did have a tornado, and it split and went around the camp. And our particular group was told to go into the back of a big tractor-trailer truck, and that's where we hibernated until the storm was past. So I understand the feeling. Thank you so very much for sharing with us the excitement. I just want to comment on the next couple of Vespers. Next week, our Vespers will not be in here. This church will be in the Kelowna Church, and it's going to be put on by Gospel Outreach Canada. We would love to share with you the excitement that we have in sharing by helping people over in their own countries. And please come and find out what Gospel Outreach Canada is all about. It's amazing. The following week, we'll be back here, and it should be Hannah Skuka giving us one of her reports. Thank you very much for coming tonight.